Referee had to call security on Dijonai Carrington. I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, hell, who wants to catch a stray eye gouge?
Today, we're diving deep into a wild moment from a recent Dallas Wings versus Chicago Sky game that's got everyone talking. Buckle up, because we're unpacking the Dijonai Carrington referee controversy, and trust me, this one's got layers. We're talking heated arguments, security getting involved, social media clapbacks, and a whole lot more.
WNBA officials, referees, they are also guilty of this heinous crime.
This is going to be a 10,000-word journey, so grab your snacks, get comfy, and let's get into it. It's Thursday night, and the Dallas Wings are facing off against the Chicago Sky in a game that was already intense. But things took a turn when Dallas Wings player Dijonai Carrington got into it with the refs. And I mean, got into it. So much so that security was called to the court. Yeah, you heard that right. Security. Let's break down what happened, why it's blowing up, and what it means for the WNBA. Plus, we'll dive into the context of Carrington's career, her past controversies, and why this moment is sparking so much debate it's a tight game. Emotions are running high, and Dijonai Carrington is not happy with a call, or maybe a non-call by the refs. She's animated, she's expressive, and she's making her case. Now, Dijonai's known for her passion on the court, right? She's a fierce competitor, always bringing that energy. But this time, things escalated. The refs apparently felt the situation was getting out of hand, and next thing you know, security guards are stepping onto the court. One guard even gets between Carrington and the official, and the ref pulls the guard in front of him like a human shield. Wild, right? First off, can we just appreciate how intense WNBA games are getting? I mean, the passion, the stakes, it's next level. But calling security? That's a rare move. Like, how often do you see that in a basketball game, especially when it's just a player arguing a call? So, naturally, this moment blew up online, and Dijonai took to X to share her side of the story. Let's pull up her post. Dijonai's post is straight to the point. She's calling out what she sees as an overreaction by the refs, suggesting that bringing in security was not just unnecessary, but a microaggression. Now, that term, microaggression, is loaded, and we're going to unpack it later because it's a big part of why this story is resonating with so many people. But first, let's talk about the incident itself. Was Carrington's argument really that heated to warrant security? Or was this a case of the refs misreading the situation? Let's roll the tape again and break it down frame by frame. All right, here's Dijonai, clearly fired up. She's gesturing, pointing, and talking directly to the ref. You can see the intensity, but it doesn't look like she's crossing any major lines. No shoving, no screaming, just a player pleading her case. Then, here comes security. Watch this guard step in, and the ref actually grabs the guard's shirt, pulling him in front like he's expecting something to pop off. Dijonai's reaction? She looks shocked, like, really? Security for this? And honestly, I get why she's frustrated. From the footage, it seems like a civil, albeit passionate, exchange. So why the escalation? Now, I want to be fair here. Refs have a tough job. They're out there making split-second calls in a high-pressure environment, and sometimes players can get in their face. But calling security feels like a power move, like the ref was trying to shut down the conversation. And that's where Dijonai's microaggression claim comes in. She's saying this wasn't just about the argument. It was about how she was treated, maybe even how she was perceived as a black woman in that moment. That's a serious accusation, and it's sparking a bigger conversation about how players, especially women of color, are handled in these situations. Okay, let's take a step back and talk about this term, microaggression, because it's central to Dijonai's response. A microaggression is a subtle, often unintentional act that can communicate bias or hostility toward a marginalized group. It's not always a big, obvious thing. It could be a comment, a gesture, or in this case, maybe calling security when it wasn't necessary. Dijonai is suggesting that the ref's decision to bring in security wasn't just about de-escalating, but could have been influenced by stereotypes or assumptions about her as a black woman. And that's a conversation we need to have because It's not just about this one game. It's about patterns in sports and society. The internet, of course, had a lot to say. Some fans were like, Dijonai's right, this was over the top. Others were like, she was too aggressive, the ref had to protect himself. And then you've got former WNBA star Cheryl Swoopes chiming in. Let's check out her post. Cheryl Swoopes is not holding back. She's questioning why the ref felt threatened enough to call security and even saying he shouldn't ref again. That's a bold stance, and it's coming from a legend who knows the game inside and out. But it also raises the question, was the ref genuinely scared, or was this a misjudgment? We don't have the ref's side of the story yet. Fox News Digital reached out to the WNBA and the Chicago Sky for comment, but no response so far. So, for now, we're left with the footage, Dijonai's perspective, and a whole lot of opinions. Now, if you're new to the WNBA or don't know much about Dijonai Carrington, let's get you up to speed. She's a dynamic guard, currently playing for the Dallas Wings after a stint with the Connecticut Sun. She's known for her defensive tenacity, quick handles, and ability to make big plays. But she's also been at the center of some controversies, which gives this referee incident even more context. Let's talk about one of the big ones. The Caitlin Clark incident from last season. It was September 2024, first round of the playoffs. Connecticut Sun versus Indiana Fever. Dijonai, then with the Sun, gets tangled up with rookie sensation Caitlin Clark. In the heat of the moment, Carrington accidentally pokes Clark in the eye, leaving her with a black eye. Now, accidents happen in basketball. It's a physical game. But what got people talking was what happened next. Carrington was seen laughing with her teammate Marina Mabrey right after. Social media went wild, with fans accusing her of being unsportsmanlike. Dijonai later clarified that she didn't mean to poke Clark in the eye and that the laugh wasn't about the injury. But the drama didn't stop there. In October, she went on Instagram Live with her girlfriend, Nalissa Smith, who, by the way, plays for the Indiana Fever alongside Clark. In the video, they're joking around in the kitchen, and Smith accidentally pokes Carrington in the eye. Dijonai says, "Ow, you poked me in the eye," and they both laugh. Then she asks, "Did you do it on purpose?" Now, some fans saw this as Dijonai making light of the Clark incident, which added fuel to the fire. Was it just playful banter, or was she throwing shade? You tell me in the comments. But that's not the only time Dijonai's made headlines off the court. In January, during the unrivaled league season, she walked into Wayfair Arena in Miami wearing a shirt that said, "The F. Donald Trump Tour." Yeah, she went there. And during a press conference that same month, she spoke out about President Donald Trump's policies, calling for WNBA players to take action in response to things like women's rights and LGBTQ rights being threatened. Here's a clip of what she said. Dijonai's not afraid to speak her mind, and that's part of what makes her such a polarizing figure. Some fans love her for using her platform to address social issues. Others think she's too outspoken or that her actions, like the shirt, cross a line. But love her or hate her, she's sparking conversations, and that's what makes this referee incident so much bigger than just a single game. All right, let's zoom out and talk about the actual game for a minute, because this incident didn't happen in a vacuum. The Dallas Wings were taking on the Chicago Sky, and it was a tough one for the Wings. They ended up losing. Let's look at the box score and some key moments to see how this game was going before the referee drama popped off. The Wings were led by Arike Ogunbowale, who dropped insert points, e.g. 25 points, and was a force on offense. Dijonai Carrington was no slouch either, putting up insert points, e.g. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. On the Sky side, Chennedy Carter was lighting it up with insert points, e.g. 20 points. But the Wings struggled with turnovers, and the Sky capitalized, pulling away in the fourth quarter. The refs were calling it tight, which might have set the stage for Carrington's frustration. So, the game was heated, the calls were tight, and Dijonai was already feeling the pressure. That's the context for her argument with the ref. But let's talk about the bigger picture. This incident isn't just about one player or one game. It's about how the WNBA handles player-referee interactions, how security is used, and whether there's bias in those decisions. Let's dive into that. If you watch enough WNBA games, you know players and refs go at it sometimes. It's part of the game. Passion runs high, and not every call is going to make everyone happy. But this situation with Dijonai feels different. Calling security is a rare move, and it's worth asking, is this a one-off or is there a pattern? Are players, especially women of color, being treated differently when they get animated? Let's look at some other examples. Remember when player X got ejected for arguing a call last season? Or when player Y got a technical for what looked like a pretty tame exchange? These moments happen, but they don't always lead to security stepping in. So what made Dijonai's situation different? Was it the ref's perception of her as too aggressive? Was it the intensity of the moment?